Yeah, here we go again. It'd be hilarious if it wasn't so darned sad. I'm not breaking any news here. Meta showed off a concept device for putting augmented reality in a sleek pair of glasses. And now the tech media landscape is going crazy for what Apple might do. We've had this problem for well over a decade now. When it comes to face displays, the tech media poops on anything that actually gets made or shipped or delivered to consumers, and they know that the majority of their cash has to come from clicks that reference Apple. Especially here in North America, everything has to be viewed through the lens of Apple. I'm not joking. I'm not exaggerating. Apple has gotten almost 13 years of positive coverage and speculation on AR glasses that still don't exist. Tech reviewers have been comparing Apple rumors against actual products, things that people could really go and buy for over a decade. I did a longer breakdown on this phenomena in a separate video, and no, Vision Pro does not count when we have over 10 years of media hype promising this, not this. The landscape for tech commentary has gotten so dire, especially here in North America, that the only way to get any traffic on an article or video is to reference Apple. Not how this will affect consumers. How will this affect Apple? But when you do that, when you rely on Apple as the topic and you need access to Apple products and Apple executives, then you also have to stay on Apple PR's good side. So all coverage here in North America has this watered down, samey quality to it. It all needs to point to Apple marketing, and that's all the investigation we can do. And that would be bad enough if it was only a tech journalism problem. But now it seems manufacturers are getting in on this scam too. I am desperate for a good face display solution. Meta did not show off an actual product I can go buy. They showed off a cool looking concept, but there's no concrete roadmap to bringing this product to market that I can find. Looking at the media reaction to Apple, now it seems other companies, other manufacturers are saying, well, hey, we can make our own vaporware product announcements. Tech reviewers are only going to make up positive, imaginary Apple products. So we can just make up our own positive imaginary gadgets. And it's hilarious. Meta showed off a concept. It's a cool looking concept. And then we got a flurry of videos for people who actually got to put Orion on their face. And then we immediately got headlines like, but what does this mean for Apple? Tech websites just taking Meta's bait, and they still had to slap an Apple title on the headline to get all the clickbait traffic they could. And all along the way, we consumers, especially we tech enthusiasts, we don't get to play with anything new. We don't get to buy anything actually disruptive. And roughly 13 years since Google Glass was announced, we've been denied the updates and upgrades and improvements that would actually bring face displays to a broader audience, that would really make this tech more accessible. We lost a decade of research and consumer experiences that would have made these things awesome, and we should be a lot more upset about that. Augmented reality in a pair of glasses is not a thing. You know that, right? If you think that somehow sleek AR glasses are right around the corner, and we're just waiting for Apple to do them right so they just work, I'm sorry to say that you've been lied to. You've been lied to for roughly 13 years. Again, even more sad that I can point to Apple, how they love to boast and overpromise and come up with quirky brand names for established technologies. The bulk of this hype did not come from Apple. It came from the very media outlets and reviewers that should be critical of Apple marketing and should be doing a better job of educating consumers. But that's not what's generating traffic and revenue. Those reviewers are counting on wacky thumbnails and bait headlines. That's how you're gonna make more money on all these platforms. Apple has already gotten over 10 years of grace on this idea. If they could have released AR glasses in a consumer accessible form factor and at a relatively affordable price, they absolutely would not have shipped a mixed reality dev kit. They would have shipped the AR glasses. I've been following this space so passionately because I think this is a very important next step, but we still have not gotten the basics right. There have only been a precious few products that have tried to do something as simple as moving a smartwatch up to eye level, and those products were met with skepticism and savvy recommendations from YouTubers. You should wait for Generation 2 or Generation 3. You should wait until the promise of magical Apple augmented reality that will bring Terminator vision to an impossibly sleek headset. It's right around the corner. And it's really the nerds. It's really our fault. Techies sat on all this stuff. Techies sat on the sidelines and mocked actual innovation, told other people not to try new things, and now we have nothing. Instead of learning and building on simpler heads-up displays and improving the concept, now companies are just making stuff up for headlines, showing off cool concepts that no one can buy or use, and the tech media is still pondering. They're still speculating. But how will Apple do this better? How can we give Apple another decade of unearned positive media coverage and speculation so we can get more traffic and make more money with the least amount of actual worker reporting? This is why so many people are bored with tech. This is why there is almost zero confidence in tech outlets when you talk to average consumers. It's why tech education is at an all-time low, and all of us geeks have family or friends who are getting scammed on the regular. And this is why competition is nearly dead in North America. It has nothing to do with building better products. It has nothing to do with consistently and fairly highlighting the pros and cons of gadgets. It never seems to matter if a company makes something actually new and cool. You're only going to hear about a new idea when a big brand adopts a new feature and pours a ton of marketing behind it. Tech media now only exists to satisfy the popularity search metrics of platforms like Facebook and YouTube, and it's operating now as an arm of the marketing from the companies that are spending billions on ad campaigns. If it only matters when Apple invents that feature 5 years later because of ad revenue to a website, then really we should give up. We should pack it all in now. The game is done, and our hobby is dead. If you want better coverage, and so many of you say that you want better coverage on technology, you have to actively support better coverage. I don't know, you could start with my Apple Glasses retrospective, which is a pretty clear track record of media hijinkery. Who knows? You might learn some stuff. So thank you for coming to another tech rant. I hope you're having some fun with cool technology. The landscape out here, it's looking pretty dire, and I hope it gets better. I'd rather support the things that might make it better.